The medium-term budget policy statement reveals a budget blowout with national debt reaching 3.8 trillion rand, or 58% of GDP in 2021. What that means, in 2021 we will be spending 247 billion rand on debt service costs, which is the equivalent of what we will be spending on basic education this year in South Africa.
He didn't verbalize it, but you can already see that he's suggesting that we must reduce the size of the public service. And we cannot afford in South Africa to unemploy anyone. Our unemployment levels are at crisis level. So if we even suggest that we must undersize the public service, we are now deepening the crisis and we might not be able to recover out of that.
He says one thing, but he does something different. So that's not going to solve the problem as far as the state-owned enterprises are concerned.
He speaks about reconfiguring SOEs, which is what we all expect, in fact, because the current model is not working. But the solution is the old solution of bailouts. Already now, SAA is lined up to receive 5 billion rands. And that is a bailout sort of response, which does not speak to reconfiguration. And so we believe that public-private partnerships need to be the model in which government must operate now to give some relief to the taxpayer.
Our public finances are unsustainable, and it's time that we implement a comprehensive spending review in South Africa.
So we really like the way in which he reinforced the policy messages and the recognition that the policy environment needs to be clarified and that government needs to stop contradicting itself in that regard. I think the strong messages around managing the existing budget, particularly the public sector wage bill, is going to send a very clear message back to government in terms of how they have to deal with that. And I think generally it is a budget, a medium-term budget that consolidates what we are seeing, that stabilizes and sends a message of consistency, which is really what we wanted to see.
The intervention actions that they announced in terms of infrastructure, specifically regarding Kigani, with the water project there, and also in the Vaal River, where they're going to bring in the engineering personnel of the South African National Defence Force. Shows a clear and a deep commitment from government to get things right. And also the condemnation of people that think they will get away with corruption is quite a clear message and a signal that government will not tolerate, this kind of undisciplined behavior.
I think the Finance Minister did an outstanding job of giving a charming wrapper, but the underlying content of it was a little bit negative, in that the expenditure was disciplined and constant, but the revenue has fallen and so has growth. So the net effect on debt and on the fiscal ratios is weaker than anticipated, and with that you've seen the rand weaken by around 1%, which gives you a sense of the market reaction.
You cannot sustainably deal with the revenue collection in South Africa without dealing decisively with the phenomenon of tax avoidance.
I think that the National Treasury and the new minister have a lot of work ahead of them. We need to get more public-private partnerships, especially when this, in a situation where the state has limitations in terms of funding, and we seem to have better financial health in the private sector.